each and every company's meaning and its functions we're going to learn in a simplest way. Formation of a company. In this unit, every student is going to learn or get the information about how to form the company. Part C, answering any two questions where it will be each question is going to carry 15 marks, 30 marks here. Very good morning, my dear students. I'm Professor Rajesh Ella from Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today, I'm here to discuss about the subject company law, which is there for second semester BCom as per NEP syllabus. Now, this subject company law is very much useful for the young entrepreneurs to learn certain aspects of the company norms as well as documentation of companies' forms, or what are the details are there at the time of formation, or if I want to conduct some meetings, how I have to conduct, and whether this meeting is valid or invalid, or to learn about the quorum, a proxy, or to learn about the prospectus and other concepts of company. In this subject, we are going to learn all these concepts in the easiest way for the students. It's going to be very helpful if they follow the things, whatever we are discussing here, and get benefited for their future career. This is the thing subject what we have in the BCom second semester company law as per NEP. First, let us see in our second sem BCom as per NEP, the question paper pattern. How the questions will be there in your examination. In this one, they have divided into three parts: Part A, Part B, and Part C. Part A contains for 2 marks where I have to write 5 questions. 5 questions we have to write and we'll get 10 marks over there. Part B, I have to write any 2 questions where it carries 10 marks, so it will be 20 marks. Part C, answering any 2 questions where it will be each question is going to carry 15 marks, 30 marks here. So the total weightage of this question paper are 60 marks. And based on previous question paper, recent examination, September, October 2022, the blueprint has been framed here. Based on the units, whatever we have in the subject company law, the first unit is Introduction to Company. From this unit, the student will get 1 2 marks question, 1 10 marks, and 1 15 marks question. This is the blueprint based on previous question paper. Formation of a company where there will be 2 questions of 2 marks, 1 question from 10 marks, 1 from 15 marks. And from company administration, there will be 2 questions for 2 marks and 1 for 10 marks and 1 for 15 marks. And the next one, the 4th unit, 1 question for 2 marks and 1 for 15 marks. The last unit, liquidation of companies, 1 for 2 marks and 1 for 10 marks. Now, the student can prepare for the examination based on this concept where he can get more marks, the allotted, whatever is there here. He can secure 60 out of 60 if he learns in this way and get the centum marks over here. Now, let us start with the concept what we have here, company law. Company law is a subject. In that one, we have nearly 5 units. The information has been divided into 5 parts here in the subject. The first part, Introduction to Company. In this concept, Introduction to Company, we are going to learn about what is company. What is company here? And we're going to learn which act is applicable. In the present, we have here Companies Act of 2013. This is the act which is applicable for all the companies which are to be going to be or companies already existed in the market. And the next one we have here, formation of a company. In this unit, every student is going to learn or get the information about how to form the company. Whether at the time of forming the company, what will be my question here, which line I'm going to have to opt here. Which line means to frame the structure, whether I have to start the company in the sole proprietorship or through partnership or in the other concepts. Now, these concepts we are going to learn in depth in the formation of a company, and in the formation of a company, even we are going to learn the major two documents which are required at the time of formation of a company. That is nothing but Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. In this Memorandum of Association, it is totally related to the external part here, and Articles is for internal activities of the organization. Even in this chapter, we are going to learn who is a promoter, what are these functions, duties, and liabilities are there. These are the concept what we're going to learn. And the third one, it says clearly company administration means how to manage, who has to manage. This is the information we are going to have a discussion on in this chapter. And the unit 4 is related to company meeting. As earlier I said, you people, now if it is to be called as a valid meeting, what is the terms and conditions are there? When they're going to call a valid meeting, when they're going to call this one as an invalid meeting, and how many types of meetings are there, and what is the norms are there, for what purpose these meetings are conducted. Every concept will be learned here very easily, which supports the students for their future purpose. The last unit we have here, liquidation of company. What is this liquidation of company? Liquidation is nothing but closing our entire business unit on. Now, for what purpose I have to close the unit? For example, if the business is started only based on certain projects and which will be there only for certain number of years. After completion of that successful project, we have to close our company. There's a one part we have. Other part, if the debts are more, the creditors can approach the court and say that one, the company should be closed. They're going to send a notice through the court to wind up our businesses. Like this, every concept will be learned in the easiest way, where the students can understand and improve his skills, and even he can adopt the things, whatever we're discussing here, that can be adopted in a real life time also. The first unit, as I said, you people, introduction to company. See, here we are going to learn clearly the meaning of the company and definition, under which section it has been defined and what they are saying, how many types of companies are there. Like for example, in the market we have private company and public company. Which are the companies are called private company and which companies are called public company, why they are calling public company and why they are calling private company. All the things will be discussed in depth, in detail, for the benefits of the students, with the easiest way where they can understand the concepts of the companies. So here types of companies are there: private company, public company, company limited by shares, company limited by guarantee, unlimited companies, one-person company. So here there are plenty of companies are there. Each and every company's meaning and its functions we're going to learn in a simplest way. The second unit, as I said, you people, formation of a company. As I've said you earlier, formation of a company means at the time of forming the company, what procedure I have to follow, and how to start the company, and what are the norms are there as per the government, whether I can start immediately or whether I have to submit any documents. If I want to submit the documents, where I have to submit. So any company, if I want to start here, I have to submit the documents to the ROC. ROC is nothing but Registrar of Companies. We have to submit the documents to the company. Now, in this concept, even we are going to learn steps involved in the formation of a company, position and functions of promoter. We are going to learn who is a promoter and what is his role and what is his functions at the time of formation of a company, whether he is a member of the company or not a member of the company. And even we are going to learn here meaning and contents of prospectus. In depth, we are going to learn what is the meaning of prospectus, who can issue the prospectus, and what sort of information will be there in the prospectus. We are going to learn, and from this topic, from this prospectus topic, for the examination, for the students, they may get for 2 marks or 10 marks question. Like, for example, what do you mean by prospectus? Or briefly explain the contents of the prospectus, which supports the students to score marks also from this concept, whatever I'm going to explain you in the easiest way. The next topic, which is very important topic for all the young entrepreneurs to know, that one, what is MOA or AOA and what are the things are there in this one. We are going to learn easily and we're going to understand the concepts. Next, we have here, if I want to modify any rules and regulations framed either for internal or external. So what are the norms we have to follow? We're going to learn in the alteration of MOA and AOA. And next one, the certificate of commencement of business. This is a document which is required for every company if they want to start the business activities, like either it may be commercial activity or it may be an industrial activity. For that, they have to receive commencement of business certificate from the ROC after submitting certain documents where we are going to learn in this chapter. Next, we have here formation of global company. If I want to form any international company or if I want to involve in international activities, so how to form that company and what are the features are there and legal formalities are there for the formation of the company. We're going to learn easily. The next third unit we have here, company administration. Now, it is clearly says for us, the name itself is indicating company administration means here, now, who has to control the company and who has to guide the company, who has to manage the company, who has to supervise the company here. For that, all those things, points, whatever the doubts we have here, we are going to learn easily. Who is the managing director? Who is old-time director? Who is an independent director? Who is an auditor? And how the appointment of auditor will be made and what is the procedure under which section he will be appointed. And if we want to remove any auditors, what is the procedure I have to follow and which meeting I have to conduct and why I have to remove the present auditor. All these concepts are going to discuss in depth in this chapter. And the major person, company secretary. Who is the company secretary? Who will be the company secretary? How a company secretary will be selected and what is the procedure? Means company secretary's appointment. First procedure is how we have to appoint the company secretary. We are going to discuss here. And even the company secretary's duties, powers we are going to discuss here. And even if I want to remove company secretary, which meeting I have to conduct, with whom we have to conduct, and what is the procedures are there, and what documents are to be submitted to the ROC as well as to the stock exchange, and which forms are to be prepared for the removal or appointment of any company secretary are discussed in this chapter. And the next one we have here, company meetings. What is a meeting? Meeting, we can make out, meeting is nothing but coming together, discussing the business matters. That's it. In a simple way, I can understand what is meeting means coming together, got it? Coming together and discussing certain business matters and agreeing to conduct those information or to follow those information in the upcoming days. The concept, whatever we have discussed here by sitting in one place is nothing called as a meeting here. In this one, we have plenty of different types of meetings are there and when they have to conduct the meeting, why they have to conduct the meeting, how they're going to conduct the meeting, and while conducting the meeting, how many people should be participate in the meeting, and if they don't participate, what happens to the meeting. So all these concepts we're going to learn in this chapter, like meaning, types of company meetings, its importance, requisites of valid meeting, and even we're going to learn what is called notice, quorum, resolutions, voting power, proxy, and role of a company secretary in conducting the meeting. So notice is nothing but a communication which has been sent to the participants of the meeting about the meeting date, place, and agenda. Agenda is nothing but the points to be discussed in the meeting. These information we are going to learn in our fourth unit. And the last unit what we have here, liquidation of companies. In this chapter, we are going to learn how to liquidate the company and who will take the responsibility of closing our business, whether the company secretary will be able to close that one or where any other person is appointed to close the business activities. In this chapter, we are going to learn modes of liquidation, consequences of liquidation, why the liquidation has taken place, and we are going to learn appointment of official liquidator. Means at the time of liquidation, they are going to appoint a liquidator who takes care of the entire closing procedure, and finally they are going to close the business. Without the liquidator, the business should not be closed here. This is the concept what you're going to discuss, and what is his duties and responsibility as a liquidator, and what the benefit will be there for the liquidator for doing such activities. For him, they're going to pay the remuneration as well as the commission for the business activities for at the time of liquidation, what it takes. These concepts which we learn, and for your examination point of view, there'll be one question for 2 marks and one question for 10 marks, where it'll be easy for you to learn and write it in the examination, the duties and responsibilities of a liquidator for the 10 marks. And after completion of all the concepts, whatever we have in the company law subject, the unit wise, we are going to provide for you people certain projects. It is called as skill development, where every student has to prepare and has to submit the points what we have mentioned here. The first thing, the student has to collect the prospectus, memorandum of association and articles of association of a company, and he has to submit to the institution where it supports for him for the internal assessment part here. And the next one, the student has to collect a notice of the meeting from any company. He can collect the notice of the company, right? Notice is nothing but a written or a communication which are sent for the participation for the meeting. So that notice he has to collect, and he has to list some names of the directors or managing directors, any 5 company which he selects. And next one, listing the names of full-time company secretary. In India, there are people out there who are working as a part-time secretary or as a consultant secretaries. Now, we need, for our purpose and your knowledge purpose, how many people are there in India who are working as a full-time company secretary, and we need only 5 companies. List is enough for us, and it is not required above that one. And the last one, name any 5 companies which have been liquidated during 2021, 22 and 22, 23. The companies which are liquidated means the companies which are closed during these 2 years. Mention any companies, means mention the company's name. It should be 5 companies. That's enough for us. In today's session, we learned that one, what is company law and how it supports us for the future purposes, and as well as we learned in such a way that one, what is the weightage of the chapters for the examination and how it supports and how I have to prepare for the examination and for the career purpose. Thank you, my dear.